Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope you guys are good. It is Offbeat live in the hot seat. And today I am unveiling, my email by the sounds of things. Turn that off. I am unveiling bonus number 2 of 3 for my album launch sign up for the first 70 people that sign up. So yesterday I unveiled bonus number 1, which was the demo that I made when I got back into rapping after a 10-year hiatus. And then also the second demo that I made before I ever made People Watching 1. So you get to hear some previously unheard material and the early stages and early versions and kind of like working versions of some of the tracks that ended up going on to be what are now classics on my first and second EP. So that was bonus number 1. I said that I'd be streaming again today and tomorrow with some more bonuses, and so I'm back today with bonus number 2, and this one I've just listened to it and that's why I'm grinning, because I'll explain what it is. Well, I'll just explain what it is. So basically I've been holding on to this for a long time because I've had a box of them left over, and I've always wanted to like share them with you guys, with my audience, but I've never known when would be like the right time to do it. So I've kind of been holding on to them for the right moment, and it feels like now is the right time. Like I said, I want to incentivize you to sign up to the album launch and to reward the first 70 people who do. So now is the right time to unveil it. But basically, me and one of my very, very good friends, who's still one of my best mates today, Gord, aka Phonetic, made an EP back in 2004 when we still lived at home as a duo called the Breadwinners. And I'll take it out of the CD so you can see the artwork a bit better. But basically, we you can see us there. We recorded a 6-track EP as the Breadwinners, and I can't remember how many of the CDs we got pressed. It was like maybe 200. We may have got like 100 made each, and we sold them all basically to our mates because we didn't like the internet didn't even really like YouTube and stuff didn't really exist then. This is like MySpace days, so I think we put those tracks up on MySpace. But we basically had a few CDs pressed that we sold to our friends, and I think we took to like a few record shops and didn't sell any through. And I've still got a box left. So you can see on the top of my wardrobe there, that's where I keep all my like CDs and my merch and stuff like that I send out to you guys. And I've always had this little box of the remaining CDs tucked away. So that is all of the remaining Breadwinners CDs that exist in the world. So there aren't 70 here, and I'm not going to be sending out physical copies of this CD to the first 70 people who sign up. But what I am going to be doing is uploading this and giving you guys a link so that you can download it and you can listen to it. And this is the first time, basically since 2005, that this has been available online. So I don't know if I don't even think MySpace still exists. Maybe somewhere out on the ether, if you like trawl through like 15 years worth of internet, maybe you can find it somewhere. But to my knowledge, this doesn't exist anywhere else. So I'm going to be uploading this and sending out a private download link to the first 70 people who sign up. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it because there's so much funny stuff and entertainment to be had from this CD. So first of all, take a look at the picture. You can see this was before I ever lost weight. There is a inlay as well. And you can see little 19-year-old, 18 or not. Why isn't 8? I'm trying to. Where is it? There. Little 18 and 19-year-old me and Phonetic. Me and my little. I don't even know what brand it was. Academics, I think. I used to wear a lot of like hip hop branded clothing back then. My little Academics cap. And then the 2 producers that we worked with, who we called the Dupes. Because it was like the Neptunes, but like the Jupiters, and then the Dupes because they were like duplicates. And they made all the beats on the EP. And to be fair, again, for like 18-year-old kids back then, 15 years ago, the beats have stood up. And then Mr. Sticks was our DJ who did the scratches, did the cuts. and he was basically our mate's older cousin. And so together we were the dupes, and it even had like our contact details on the back. That's definitely not my phone number anymore. I hope it's not any of those guys either, because it'd be a bit embarrassing if you lot like rang them up, although it could be quite funny. But yeah, there was our little logo, a loaf of bread with a slice falling down to form the B of breadwinners. Like ahead of our time, mate. That is a quality logo. Designed that myself in Paint, Microsoft Paint. And this picture, despite being airbrushed on Photoshop, was taken from a real photo, obviously, which was taken at our school. So that is literally the wall of our secondary school, and the bench, and anyone who went to Kings Hill School in Cirencester probably recognises that wall. Very distinctive wall. The pigeons I photoshopped in afterwards. Yeah, so amazing bit of artwork there from little 18-year-old me. 18 or 19, I can't remember exactly how old I was. So yeah, so that is just the artwork alone. And then on the actual track list, there's 6 songs. It's a combination of like basically just straight up punchlines and battle rap type stuff and braggadocio, because we were young and that was the kind of stuff we were into. But there's a couple of like conceptual tracks on there as well. So I'm going to run through the track list with you, and I don't know if you can see that on the artwork, but basically because we were breadwinners, we made the track list by putting like stencils on like a chopping board, and then putting flour on it, and then pulling it away to create that awesome little bit of artwork there. So again, genius, ahead of our time. But yeah, track 1 is called Winner Takes All, and that is just pure unadulterated punchline braggadocio battle rap fire. Second track is called Breaducation, and that is what being a breadwinner meant to us. And what's really funny is that Phonetic, aka Gord, like has gone on to start a family and like has a wife and like a little baby girl, and all of the stuff that he says in this track from 15 years ago pretty much rings true now, and like he lives his life by the stuff he said in this track, which is amazing to hear. I was a self-righteous little shit, basically telling people how they should live their lives and like what being a breadwinner meant, and like working hard and like looking after your family and stuff. Little 18-year-old guy telling people how to live their lives. All good. Then track 3 is called Slime, and I think that one's just like, again, straight up battle lyrics. That one I'm gonna give you a little bit of a disclaimer. That is the one track that probably has aged really badly in terms of like PC content. The world has moved on since then, and there are quite a few like problematic, let's say, lyrics in there, and you've got to listen to that one in context and remember that at the time, that was when like Eminem was at his height, and like being offensive and being un-PC was like the thing to do. I'm very proud to say that I actually am not the guilty party when it comes to those lyrics. All of the bang out of order bars on there are from Phonetic, so he can take the flak for that one. But just be warned that when you listen to that, you might go steady on. There's a couple of like just lyrics that like wouldn't stand up by today's like standards of what is acceptable, but there's still some decent ones on there. And also the beat was like kind of ahead of its time as well. It's called Slime because like grime was just becoming a thing then. And the producers wanted to create something inspired by that, and it's this sort of like dark, squelchy, kind of grimy sound. So it's quite unlike all the other tracks on there, which are like more traditional hip hop. Then there's a song called Nothing Personal. If you can see that there, Nothing Personal. And that, like, back then it was my favourite track, and it's probably still my favourite track now. It's a kind of conceptual one about business and creativity, and how they are like intrinsically linked but also enemies. And Gord plays the role of business and I play the role of creativity, and we basically have like an argument over how we need each other but how we're so different. And it's kind of like, listening back to it now, it's kind of similar to like 15 Minutes, or one of my tracks that I've written in this like lifetime as offbeat. So that's quite, you guys might find that one interesting to listen to, because like I was still writing stuff like that even back then. Then track 5 is called A Night to Remember, and it's a little story about me and Gord going out in Bristol, and this is before I even lived in Bristol. I still lived at home in Cirencester. But like I used to come to Bristol all the time to visit my mate, and like we wrote a song about us both going to Bristol and getting separated, and then our 2 different accounts of what happens that night, and then meeting up again at the end. So that's quite a fun one. And then the last track is just called Last Laugh, and again that's just straight up punchline battle rap fire, fam, which in like listening back to now kind of makes me cringe a little bit, because there's some just really out of date references. Like I say, it's 2005, so there's references to like Rick Waller and stuff like that, like stuff that was relevant at the time, which now people just be like, who? So yeah, but all in all, very, very, very entertaining to listen to. And I haven't listened to this, I don't know when the last time I listened to this was. I mean, so we made this in 2004, and then we wrote it and recorded it in 2004. We released it in 2005, and then I stopped making music after that. Basically, like I've told the story quite a few times, I left home, moved to Bristol, went to university, and like life got in the way. So this was the last thing I wrote for years and years and years and years, and I didn't listen to it for all that time. And I think this might genuinely be the first time I've listened to it since then. Like I've always carried them around with me, but I've never listened to it, because at the time I didn't want to kind of make myself feel bad that I wasn't still making music. And then since I've got back into making music, back in 2013 or 2014, I think it was 2014, it would have been, yeah. I didn't listen to it then, because I was like, it's almost 10 years old. Like it's gonna make me cringe too much to listen to it. So I literally just listened to it for the first time before I jumped on the stream, pretty much to screen it and just make sure there isn't anything unsuitable. And as I say, the only track that I'm not 100% comfortable with is Slime. But I've given you that disclaimer. It's 15 years old. The world was a different place, and I think you guys are like mature enough to be able to handle it. So that is bonus number 2 of 3. So bonus number 1, as I say, is the demo that I made when I started making music again 10 years after this, and then bonus number 2 is this, with 6 tracks with me and MC Phonetic, produced by the Dupes, aka the Breadwinners. And it is very, very, very entertaining. In terms of, it's so funny listening back to it, and I was just chatting to Gord, aka Phonetic, just now on WhatsApp, because I was listening to it and I was just like, messaging him being like, do you remember this lyric? Do you remember this lyric? Can't believe we said this. But what's so funny to hear is the influences, because other than Eminem being offensive, we were both like so into UK hip hop at the time, and there are a couple of artists in particular, guy called Maestro, aka Mice Diggy, who's still relevant, who's still like about now, making music now, and some of you guys might even know him from working with Smokey Joe and the Kid. He was like my biggest influence back then, and like he's still an influence of mine now. But on that album, I basically sound like Dr. Syntax doing an impression of Mice Diggy. So it's like Mice Diggy style lyrics with Dr. Syntax's kind of delivery. Although I wasn't actually into Dr. Syntax back then, so that was just me being middle class. And Gord's biggest influence was a rapper called Jest, and you can definitely hear the influence there as well. So like listening back to it, it's like you can just hear the UK hip hop influence. It's so strong. Like the rappers that we're like clearly inspired by, the sort of punchlines that we're doing, the beat choices, like the beats, to be fair, like by today's standards, they're not the best. And you know, the guys who made them were like 18 years old, and it was 2005 when like techniques and technology were much more basic back then. But like I say, they're still all right. But as an overall package and as like an artifact, if you want to like hear what I was like back then, all that time ago when I was 18 years old, like you're going to love it. So yeah, as I say, that is bonus number 2 of 3. And I also said yesterday that I've got 3 bonuses, and the third one is going to be even more exciting than that. So bonus 1 is the demo that no one's ever heard before with a load of extra unreleased material. Bonus number 2 is the Breadwinners EP. And then bonus number 3 is even better than both of those put together, to be quite honest. And I know that sounds like a bold claim, but I believe it is. And like I say, everyone that I've described it to, and I've said this is what I'm going to do for bonus 3, they've all gone, oh my God, people are going to love that. So like I have said before, if you haven't already signed up to the early birds list, then please do, because I'm going to be giving these bonuses away to the first 70 people that sign up. And the link for that is iamoffbeat.com/earlybirds with an S. So iamoffbeat.com/earlybirds. And yeah, jump on that list basically, and I'll be releasing the link for the album launch sign up 24 hours early to those people, and then to everyone else I'm going to be releasing it on Friday. So if you want to be one of the first 70 people to sign up and you want to get these 2 bonuses and the even more amazing one that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow, then jump on that list. And there are still a few spaces on there, like it's filling up nicely, but yeah, it's free to go on the early birds list. You haven't got to sign up, but if you do get on it and then you can sign up on that link before everyone else, you're much more likely to get all the bonuses. So there you go. I'm gonna open it up to the chat now, but what I might also do is play you a couple of tracks, or at least a couple of snippets of the Breadwinners EP, because like, you just want to hear them, don't you? I know you do. I like I say, I listened to it just before I jumped on, first time in like 10 years. Well, nah, man, what is it? Hang on. If that came out in 2005, and I've not listened to it since then, pretty much, that means I've not listened to it for about 15 years, which is mental. So I've just listened to it for the first time, and I loved it. And yeah, I will play you a couple of tracks, but I'm also going to open up the chat now and see what you lot are saying. Boop. Here we go. Sup. Okay, Robbie Meesday says, hello. Hello, Robbie. How you doing, mate? Thanks for coming along. Andrew Grimes says, what up, mate? What up, Andy? How you doing? The Mariday says, I only seem to arrive late. That's all good. You're here now, mate. And I realised, I watched back a bit of the stream yesterday, and I get what you and Ms. Mariday were saying about the early birds thing now. Because yesterday I said early birds with an S, but obviously saying early birds sounds like it's spelt with a Z, and it's not, it's spelt with an S. Chemomatic says, you missed maybe 2 mins, Mariday. All good. Mariday, an offbeat track that hasn't aged well. Now this I need to hear. It's still aged like a fine wine, mate. It's just the lyrics that are a little bit questionable, and even then, it's Gord's lyrics, not mine. Oh, one other thing actually that it's not aged badly, but like it's something I noticed, and I was like, shit. Is on the very last song, there's a lyric on there, like a punchline on there that I used in one of the Swing Hoppers tracks, and I completely forgot that I'd ever used it because I haven't listened to this for 15 years. So I listened. I was like listening to the whole EP. I was like, yeah, wicked, or oh, cringe, but still cool, oh, funny. And then heard that last line, and I was like, fuck. Totally like forgot that I'd ever used that line before. So yeah, some of you will hear that and go, cheeky. We've heard that one before, but yeah. So just a warning, but all good. The Mariday, the definition of when the beat slaps but the lyrics are problematic. Yeah, totally. Still looking forward to all of them. Good stuff. Adina Friedman says, oh my God, Ollie, you're finally back. Yes, I am. I've been back for a while though, Adina. I've been streaming for well over a month now, regularly doing Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, but only like 20 minutes at a time. Sometimes longer. I've got a feeling tonight will be a bit longer because I'm going to play you some of this and have a bit of a chin wag with y'all. But yeah, I've been back. I've been back for a hot minute. Mariday says, yes, breadwinner teaser. Adina says, and I realise I missed a bunch of live stream too. Yeah, exactly. All good though. Ms. Mariday approves. Good. I'm glad to hear. Chemomatic says, I gotta go. Take care, Ollie. Take care, everyone. Take care, Chemomatic. Thank you very much. And the Mariday says, gonna get yourself done for plagiarism. Yeah, I know. So yeah, the Swing Hoppers will probably sue me for. Or no, hang on. I wonder if the Breadwinners can sue the Swing Hoppers for jacking their lyrics. interesting. I'll look into that, see what the legal ramifications are. I mean, I'm going to get screwed over twice, so I might not look into that, but it's interesting. Okay, so you ready? I'm going to play you a bit of what one shall I play you? I'm going to play you a bit of the first track, Winner Takes All, because that's just like got a pretty decent beat. And I'm going to play you I'll play you Breducation as well, because like Gord's lyrics are genuinely sick, and he like lives by them and actually lives them now. And good to see you, mate. Right, yeah, let's get this show on the road, gang. You have to hold the mic up so you can hear it.
Right off beat. How you doing, man? Long time no see. Nice one, mate. First who drink, bro? Is it JD? One shot or two? Just one. Cool. Here comes the coast. Say when. Say when. Say when.
When? No one's ready for what we've got in store. Not the norm. Our raps contain messages like bottles when they wash ashore. And if we come to your town, then lock the door. Cause we're guilty of causing a fray like jeans with the bottoms torn. You promise all but can't provide or deliver. I write rhymes and drop them like they were litter, but pronounce them right, and like the prince he meant to say, dice in the mirror. And I don't mean the guy that cheated on Die with Camilla. We dispose of foes like homes opposing real estate. Make them kneel and pray cause we seal their fate. I'll be frank like Badil's best mate. Step up, you'll get scraped off our heels like meal remains congealed to plates. We plan to last longer than girls shopping for clothes on the rails, or moaning about how they've broken a nail. We're spitting rhymes so heavy they're exploding the scales, and people feel what we're saying like we wrote it in braille. This isn't the kind of stuff you find in hundreds of shops, but then we don't rely on sales like the number of yachts. And if it's not offbeat and phonetic, it's Onslow Bucket and Gordon Bennett up in the spot. This isn't the kind of stuff you find in hundreds of shops, but then we don't rely on sales like the number of yachts. And if it's not offbeat and phonetic, it's Onslow Bucket and Gordon Bennett up in the spot. I freeze frame my dreams so when I wake I can animate, annotate, and then spray lyrics like Montana paint. But my graph pens are out of date. I never tap. I'd rather keep my stuff in laminate.
Just fade it out. Fade it out. Cool. So that's not. I'm not just fading that out so you can't listen to Phonetic. I'll just play you a bit of his verse on the next track instead. That was where's the chat window gone? That was Winner Takes All, with me spraying some hot fire on the first verse. Adina says, does the track have you doing both the high and the low voice? It doesn't. Well, it depends what you mean by the high and the low voice. I'm assuming not. When you say the high voice, I think that's Gord or Phonetic. So that was the other thing as well. We both had aliases. So I was Offbeat, aka Onslow Bucket, which any of you like keeping up appearances fans will recognise. And then Phonetic, Phonetic was his stage name, and then his like alias was Gordon Bennett, which is like an English expression for like Gordon Bennett, because his nickname in real life is Gord, even though that's also not his real name, so it gets confusing. But yeah, Offbeat aka Onslow Bucket and Phonetic aka Gordon Bennett. Yeah, to answer the question, high and low voices, I think Gord's got the higher voice and I've got the lower voice, so it is two different people. All good. So the Sour Lemon says, this is pretty good. I think I found another favourite artist. Wicked. Well, maybe this will end up on Spotify one day. When I was messaging Gord earlier, he was like, is it going to be all right to release these tracks given like some of the shit that we say on them? And I was like, mate, people will understand. Different time. And as I say, they're not even that bad, but like just by today's standards, some of them a little bit questionable. So that was Winner Takes All. I'm going to play you one more. It's called Breducation. Do you want to play that one? Or yeah, I'll play that one. Yeah, Breducation. All right, cool. So I'll let you hear Gord rap now, and then I'll play a little bit of my verse as well. But he actually kills it on this one. He definitely smashes this track. In fact, it's only 3 minutes long, this song, so I'll play you the whole thing. How's that? How's that for value? Ready?
What the title constitutes is more than providing food for the new dining room and residing feud. It's resolving feuds and controlling moods. Being involved in social groups where your child might move. It's avoiding abuse, filling voids in the roost. When you're up to the roof with the same sort of excuse. It's keeping you cool when they lose theirs. It's putting up with clothes on the stairs and putting socks into pairs. It's having to deal with current affairs, cause there's always something that catches you out when you're so unprepared. It's getting up at 6 in the morning to the same job you hate but work because to you it's important. And if it fails to rain then it's pouring. Trying to work off a mortgage or at least a small portion of drawings. It's working on your feet all day, then coming home and cooking up a storm though your feet still ache. It's being able to make the grade and create the space. If any form of falling out takes place, it's elevating a state of belief. It's generating branches and leaves to construct the family tree. It's delegating power with age, but with that come responsibility levels that limit the phase. Cause the trust bond is often defaced. They'll say that limits were vague, evading any punishment stage. And when the pages are familyhood stacked, and you feel that relationships you built up of more or less crap, I guarantee someone will cover your back and smother you with unconditional love that comes as part of the pack. Cause I'd up and pack for the world's end. When it comes to my sister, mum, my dad, my nan or my girlfriend, I can't express this in a track. A breadwinner takes inner steps to benefit the rest of the pack.
What is it
Flames.
in the makeup of a winner? A breadwinner provides for the dependent, whether one or a dozen, and failure's not an option up for discussion. See the irony occurs when his wife's pregnant, cause all of a sudden he's needed most and she's already got a bun in the oven. A breadwinner accepts his responsibilities and will do what's necessary, even if it means loss of dignity. And no, he doesn't want your sympathy, cause he's determined and is preserving his tribe he's concerned with. Yeah, it's his purpose in life to stand firm through the turbulent times. And if his cubs are in trouble, then he's the first to arrive. Not to satisfy his ego, but he will prevent anyone from hurting his pride. And he loathes and hates the folks that break the oaths they make and don't remain faithful to their chosen mate and play away from home. But when they accidentally procreate, he won't even associate, and she's left alone to raise the baby on her own. That's why brothers come with spermicide, so eggs don't get fertilized and minors don't get made, like when careful people learn to drive. A guy who deserts his tykes deserves to be burnt alive, cause a breadwinner works and strives to earn their stripes. But the term isn't gender specific. There's plenty of women who work as hard as men for a living, running things behind the scene, although their efforts are hidden, and the impression given that there isn't anything different. And both sexes will resort to measures that cause dilemmas to support their family through stormy weather. If circumstances apply enough force and pressure, then they'll risk serving a stretch like Norman Fletcher. And though I don't have a wife or seed, my friends know they can confide in me in their time of need. But you don't have to rhyme to be part of this dying breed. It's just a type of life you decide to lead.
Flames. So there you go. I do find that track quite funny to listen to because it is literally an 18-year-old me telling like adults how they should live their lives. But it stands up. Like it's, I still agree with the morals, and it's also very, I don't know, just like gives me warm and fuzzy feelings to know that like literally everything that Phonetic says in his verse, he lives and does now as an adult. And even when he talks about his girlfriend in that track, that's the woman he ended up marrying now, and is married to now and has a kid with now. So like love listening to that 15 years later, and like everything he said has come true. Quite funny listening to me as a kid telling people how to live their lives. So that is it. I'm gonna leave it there because I want obviously there to be some surprises when you actually listen to it, and I also want you to be incentivized enough to get on the early birds list and to sign up for the album launch so that you can receive it. So once again, the link for the early birds sign up list is iamoffbeat.com/earlybirds with an S, early birds, and yeah, I hope you guys jump on there. I hope you are one of the first 70. And like I say, tomorrow I've got the last bonus of the 3, and it's going to blow the other 2 out of the water. Like, and I don't say that lightly. I think hearing like early demos is cool. Hearing like an EP from 15 years ago is even cooler. But I promise you, the bonus I've got for you tomorrow is going to like make you guys go mental. So Adina Friedman says, signing up. Awesome. Good one, Adina. Thank you very much. I am going to shoot off unless you guys have got any other questions. I'm just going to have a quick read of these comments, actually. I can see the Maraday says, I can hear the Eminem influence. He was a big influence for me too. AKA, how many rhyming syllables can I fit into a bar? Yeah, 100%. That is fully like early Eminem. he was a big influence of mine, but mainly it's like UK hip hop is the biggest influence in that. Like I did love Eminem, but like it's Mice Diggy and it's Jest and it's Task Force and it's all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Caleb Ray says, yo, hey, Caleb, you're late, mate. You've missed it. I've just been playing my EP that I made back in 2005 with my friend Phonetic, Offbeat and Phonetic, when we were called the Breadwinners. It was the first and only thing that I ever released before I took a 10-year break and then started making music again in 2014, I think. So you've just missed it. I just played a couple of tracks off it as well. But what I've been saying to everyone else is that I'm going to be giving that away as bonus number 2 on the album launch on Friday or Thursday if you're part of the Early Birds list. I think you are on the Early Birds list. When I looked earlier, I'm pretty sure I saw your name on there. So yeah, guys, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to shoot off. And Adina also says, stay healthy, Ollie. Thank you very much. Same message goes to you guys too. I hope you are all doing well in the face of this global crisis that we are experiencing at the moment. But genuinely, I think like we've just got to try and stay positive as well and do things like everyone's been advised to stay indoors more or like as much as possible. And whilst it's important to protect our health physically, I think it's really important to like protect our spirits mentally and emotionally as well. So try and stay positive, communicate with friends and loved ones, and listen to awesome music, and just try and stay positive, man, because that's going to help you get through this as well. New Bite says, will this be up as a video later? It will be. All the live streams get uploaded to YouTube. And you are asking this on YouTube, so yeah, it will be on YouTube later. But if you want to hear the glory of the EP in its entirety, all 6 tracks in beautiful, high quality MP3, then make sure you sign up for the Early Birds list. And I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. So I will catch you tomorrow. Like I say, I've got the last bonus tomorrow, which is going to blow your minds. And then the Early Birds are going to get the link on Thursday, and everyone else is going to get it on Friday. So I will catch you in a little bit. Take it easy. And yeah, do stay healthy as well, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.